Hi everyone, Magnus here, and we've got some more Explained Rapid today, trying to get back to 2400, where I give my live thoughts and ideas in the live pool. Looks like we're playing 2305 from Indonesia, and let's get started. I'm going to be mixing it up with Najdorf Sicilian today, pawn to d6. Normally I'm playing the Accelerated Dragon, but I figured we could have a little bit of a change this time. Knight c3 is the main move. Pawn a6 goes into the Najdorf. The idea is that we stop pieces from accessing this square and can then proceed to kick away the white knight. On bishop to g5, pawn to e6 is most played, and I believe this bishop d3 move is a slight mistake as far as I remember, because I think it might be because of h6. But I will go for probably bishop to e7 first, although h6, my point is that after a move like bishop to h4, I'll go bishop to e7, and if castles happens then there's h6, and if bishop h4 I have knight takes e4, and if bishop were to take there then I would be doing well. So I'm still going to play h6, trying to kick away this bishop. If they take, I can take right back. They decide not to take, but now I have the move knight to g4, which should win me this dark squared bishop, and that is a very nice piece in the Sicilian, because now if they were to castle queenside, for example, they could run into some problems on this diagonal after moves like pawn to e5 get played, preventing their pawn from reaching the f4 square and also getting a tempo on the knight. I'm going to take the bishop, their queen will take back, and then I can castle the king to safety. Black should be marginally better here, given that I have the two bishops. It's not a serious advantage, but it's definitely getting towards being pretty good. Queen can come to c7, pawn to b5. If I can fink out in my bishop, that could be nice as well. I like b5. Let's go b5 right away, trying to put some pressure here. Maybe the queen will come out to b6 if they go pawn to f4, and I can try and take advantage of this slightly destabilized knight. So I'm going to play queen to b6. If they go f5, I will have e5, and their knight would have nowhere to go because the f5 square is taken and there is no c2 retreat, so they would simply lose a piece. But pawn to e5 wouldn't immediately be threatening to win the knight. So it's not super strong. I still have pawn to e5. This can force off some exchanges. Also knight to c6 and bishop to b7 are definitely on the radar. I think I will be playing bishop to b7, trying to take advantage of some pins along here. Moves like e5, knight c6 are making sense. Can't quite get this to work because they would take my bishop with check. So after knight c6 takes, I can play queen takes c6, which could be alright. So I think I will go for knight c6, and if they take, I'll take with my queen. I have the two bishops. This is a nice diagonal that can point down over here. Makes it quite hard for them to execute f5 because I will take and then I will have my monster bishop. That is a bit of a scary move. I don't like the look of that. I mean, I kind of have to take. Oh no, yeah, bad things are happening. Very bad things are happening here. Maybe I can go king to h8. On king h8, d5 I can take. This is quite scary. I can't take. I'm assuming they've looked at this as well. There might be queen h3. I mean, they have now walked into a pin. Knight to f5's met with that, and then the rook's lost. They might have seen more than me, but then still run into a little bit of trouble because luck might be on my side. Because now the problem is that their knight's pinned and their rook is also under threat if their queen is to move over to here. I can take the knight, and that will come back and attack the rook. This still looks like a very scary position though, with pawn coming to e5 and their bishop possibly opening up. So let's try and calculate some concrete lines. Is rook to h7 a threat? I have to take it, otherwise I will get checkmated. It's like king g1, queen g3, and pawn to e5 after the king takes. So they go pawn to e5. I guess I should probably take here. Or maybe it should be knight takes and knight to f5. This looks very scary indeed. Queen takes, queen g3. It's bishop to g5 a move. Rook to h7. I do not like this one bit. Knight takes, rook h7, king g8, queen g3, bishop g5. Takes, knight f5. Takes, rook h6. This is terrible. Queen takes, rook h7, king g8, queen g3, bishop g5 takes. Knight takes, knight g6, bishop takes, it's mate. Oh, I've been having a terrible day for rapid. Okay. Maybe I have queen e5. Bishop. Don't know. I might have just gotten lucky. I was definitely not expecting rook h6. I mean, if they just take here, I think I'm getting butchered, right? I have to play queen takes e5. And if here, then I would take, and that's not too bad. But on takes, queen e5, queen g4, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh no, I guess I could have taken that pawn. Don't know, maybe black was holding on. Maybe. Mess of a position. Be interesting to look at the review afterwards. Maybe black, I was just really lucky and everything's holding on. But yeah, now this rook's hanging. I'm threatening to trade queens and this pawn's gonna drop. So actually, I think black might just be like fairly winning. Which is pretty undeserved. Opponent's still fighting though. Let's do this. Try and eliminate this bishop. Big problem piece for me. Also some ideas of trying to get the knight in like this. I'm a little bit scared about rook f1, but rook f1 now I have queen g4. So looks like the glue is just about holding, but after this queen trade, maybe rook g6, f5, h3. Bishop h4 looks like it saves the game. So I'm going to go for queen g4. If they trade, skewer, f5, h3, bishop h4. And I should just about make it with my extra piece. Got really lucky here. But all the tactics are just working. Rook is also trapped, so just pretty nasty stuff for my opponent. I was not seeing anything this game. Just kind of stumbling into the tactics, but you know, some people say there's no luck in chess. Not exactly sure about that. This game definitely felt like there might have been a little bit. I would be tempted to stall if I was them as well, because that is a nasty little game. Okay, I'm going to take back. If they take with the bishop, I will start moving up my king and then try and win their bishop. I got this retreat as well, so I'm going to start moving the king up. If their knight goes back, I can bring my bishop back to this square, start attacking the pawn. So probably seems like a good idea to stack the rooks and try and get an exchange of rooks, or even just win. Could even do a little bit of a reverse here and go for some tricks. Let's retreat this bishop. Bishop controls the knight very nicely. I always like these positions where a knight's dominated by the bishop. As you can see, it has no forward jumps. Gonna bring this rook stack here, probably pawn to g4, and I have bishop to e4. So bishop e4 should seal the deal. I'll simply get this trade, exploiting the pin here, and I'll be winning another pawn. There's nothing really for white to play. I'm just up a rook. So okay. Yeah, unfortunately not too much to say about the current commentary. White just doesn't have any moves, and I have disconnected, which is a good sign. That is not good. Have finally managed to get the game back. Looks like the sacrifice from my opponent was sound on g7, which makes sense because you're just grabbing a pawn with check. The opening was pretty decent, and queen b6 was the right idea, but apparently I should have been going knight d7 first to guard the queen, which makes sense. So knight d7 still the way to go, making sure that the queen is guarded and this sacrifice doesn't work. But now this rook g7 sacrifice is great, and pawn e5 also good. So my opponent getting back-to-back brilliant moves. I thought after queen g3 I was pretty much dead if they just took this pawn, But at the same time, I also thought after queen takes e5 and something like queen g4, it's actually not super clear. So they would have had to find queen to h3, and after queen takes g5, knight to e4, and all the pieces from white would have been flying in. I probably would have lost the game. But instead they played rook takes h6, probably just missing queen f4. And after these moves, it looks like I actually played okay the rest of the game. Bishop h4 is a nice find, and the rest of the game was pretty straightforward. This is probably where you left me after I got disconnected. And then I basically just tried to convert this endgame by rounding up the pawn here. It wasn't the cleanest because I kind of got low on time and was concerned that I was disconnecting, but I stacked the rook for the knight and then promoted the pawn, made the queen, cut the king, and did checkmate. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And other than that, I'll be back tomorrow with some more explained chess. See you. Bye.